Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So, Forza Horizon 4, we got ourselves a new... Okay, well, I'm already off the road. We got ourselves a new car. Well, I'm a little bit late to this party because this came out last week, but I thought I'd still go ahead and make a video on the 600 LT. So, this is, of course, like I said, a brand new car added to the game. If I go check the festival season, or the festival playlist, the summer season, if I get to 50%, you get the 600 LT. Pretty easy, just sort of do some events and you pretty much got it. So, I realized that you can actually put drift suspension on this thing. So, I mean, anything that you can put drift suspension on in this game is a thumbs up for me. Because, I mean, we get to slide around. And I'm going on Forza Island to slide this thing around. I honestly do not care how fast this car is around corners or anything like that. I know it's technically meant to be really fast around corners. I do know that it's not the fastest car in the game or something crazy like that. So, I thought I'd go ahead, bring it out to Forza Island and try to slide this thing. Because, I mean, that's kind of what I do best. I love just trying to slide cars in this game. So let's have a look and see what we can do with this car with some drift suspension on it. I'm going to leave it rear-wheel drive for the moment. I'll probably swap it to all-wheel drive afterwards. And we'll have a look and see what that's like. 4 points. But as you can see, no drift suspension on it right now. It doesn't have a lot of steering angle. So let's go to the festival site and modify this thing. It's fairly quick, right? It's a quick car and all that. But, I mean, I'll show you guys the performance, I guess, the stats for this thing, which are okay, but they're not like crazy. So 591 horsepower, 620 newton meters of torque, 1,350 kilos. It's okay. Again, not the best, but it's okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and have a look and see what we can do to this car. I mean, visually, probably won't be able to change much, but we could have a 6.1 liter V12. We can have a racing V12, or we can have the V10, the Audi V10. So, with these engines, I don't really know if I would have changed them to anything else. I think the 6.1 liter V12 is from the old McLaren F1, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if I want to change to that just yet. I might just leave it with the standard engine that's in it now. And obviously we could change it from rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, which we might do afterwards. Again, visually, yeah, like I said, probably not going to be able to do much to this thing. It's just the Forza parts, which I'm not going to do. As for our wheels and tires, it is already on race tires, so I might just leave them the way they are for the moment. As for our tire width, we only got 225s on the front? Really? I would have expected at least like 230, 245s or 255s or something like that, but I guess not. Well, we are going to give this a lot more power. I kind of do want a little bit of, well, a little bit more front end grip, so we'll do that. 285s in the rear. Again, like I said, I thought we'd have a lot more, like wider tires on this car, but I guess not. So there's a bunch of different wheels that I think suit this car quite a lot, especially some that have like the center offset like sort of pushed in a little bit more. Something like this I think would suit this car quite well, and I'm gonna probably paint those black as well. We can't change the wheel size though, I just realized, so I think we're stuck with whatever is on now, which is probably like what, 20 inch, 19, 20 inch. And then we have our drift suspension to be added on, which looks pretty crazy. How this thing with camber, all right, not bad. Alright, let's just slap on pretty much everything race spec, because then we can obviously modify it and tune it to the way we want to. So I'm going to drive this thing just the way it is, no tune on it whatsoever, and then we'll see if I need to change anything. And then I'll come back and tune this car. And then obviously after that, it's at S2 950. Right now it makes 907 horsepower. I know for a fact that the 6.1 liter V12 will make more. But 921 horsepower right now on race tires, on widened race tires as well. We'll see what that's like. Let's just install the setup for the moment. And we'll drive around like this. I think for just a rear-wheel drive car, 921 horsepower is not bad at all. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just paint the wheels black just so I can get this thing to look. Wait, what's the exterior paints for this thing? I feel like there should be a lot. Yeah, I was about to say there's like a lot of different paints that we can have on this car. Red and black looks good. Orange and black look... Oh, I kind of like this, actually. Something brighter. I feel like it's a little bit boring having the... Oh, the blue looks really good, too. If I go to this, I think it'll change... Yeah, it changes the whole paint. It doesn't have, like, the carbon fiber parts are painted as well. Red, I think. Red looks really, really good. Red or orange? I think we're going with red. Our hood is fine. Mirrors are fine. Again, this is all just carbon fiber bits and pieces here. I might just do the wheels carbon fiber as well, then. So it'll look something like this. It'll match the rest of the car. Yeah, I'll do that. And then the tints for the windows, I guess, just paint that black. Alright. Just simple design. Nothing too crazy here. Just sort of make everything sort of matching. and look good. What's this look like now? If we go into Forza Vista. I like it. I actually really like it red. It looks very, very good. Alright. Not bad. Really not bad. Well, now, I guess the only thing that we have to do is try to slide this thing. Again, like I said, we'll try to keep this as a rear-wheel drive. And then we'll try slide it like this. And then I'll see if it's any good as an all-wheel drive drift car as well. But for now, let's try to see how good or bad this thing is going to be. Let's have a look at our steering angle now. Okay, it's miles better. It's so much better. Start off a second. Has a lot of grip. It does have a lot of grip. It actually pulls it very, very tight. Obviously, this isn't really meant to be a drift car, but if you want to use it for racing with drift suspension, it's actually not that bad, because the front end just has so much grip. No sim steering, just normal steering at the moment. I mean, it's fairly simple to control, there's not really... There's not really any difficulty here when it comes to the holding angle with this car. There it goes, the first spin out. It's definitely not made to slide. Definitely not made to slide. I mean, there are some supercars that you can take out and make it go sideways. I mean, it's obvious that the engine's in the back, right? It's obvious that it's not a front engine. I'm just looking at the dude climbing the hill. Cool. It's obvious that the engine is not in the front, so you don't have... I mean, the front end, like I said, is light, but it has like a fairly good amount of grip. It feels very, very similar to what 911s feel like to slide. I mean, the engine is technically in the middle, but it is obviously behind the seats, and like it's noticeable that it's not over the front wheels. Pretty much, this is kind of what I'm trying to explain here. It's super agile car. And the way you throw this down is definitely different to, like I said, a front-engined rear-wheel drive car. Yeah, it's it feels weird. It feels different to, like I said, your normal front-engine rear-wheel drive cars. I feel like this would be actually kind of decent if I changed it to all-wheel drive. I mean, right now, like I said, there's no tune on it whatsoever, so I can just pretty much make everything a little bit more to the extreme. I can get a little bit more tow as well. I can change that. My anti-roll bars and everything are still fairly soft. I can go ahead and lock the diff fully if I really want to as well, which I'm probably just going to do anyway. Other than that, like, I mean, there's very, very little that's going to change with this car if I do end up changing like the tow and all that sort of stuff, which I probably will end up doing later on. But for right now, it just feels okay. Feels okay. Like I said, it does feel a little different because of the whole, you know, mid-engine instead of front engine. Has a lot of torque. Like, I mean, I'm in 4th gear right now, it still pulls. I'll try a whole downhill section. And then I'll swap over to all-wheel drive and do one as well. Just to test it out, just to see what it's like. So again, like I said, has a lot of torque. There are ways I think you can set the toe of your wheels where you will get more points by sliding. And then again, like I said, I'm not even on simulation steering, so I'm not flicking hard enough. None of that. I'm just trying to make it look as smooth as possible right now. I'm not trying to do any sort of point drifting. Any specific point drifting. Like, I'm not going for points. I'm just going to use this section though. So yeah, that downhill just feels a little bit easier. Again, you have that momentum and all, but it feels, like I said, tiny bit different because it's a mid-engine instead of front engine. Yeah, it's super easy to control though. It's nothing crazy here. Like, it's not like you can't handle it because it's got a little bit of understeer there, actually. It's not like you can't control it just because you don't have the engine all the way at the front. Still a super lightweight car with a lot of power. There's 443,000 points. All right, so let's go make this thing into an all-wheel drive, and then bring it back out again. And I think I'm gonna engine swap it as well, because then we'll have even more power to toss about with this car. So let's do the 6.1 liter V12. I know I could probably do the other engines and it'll probably give me a little bit more power, but I kind of want to stick to the whole McLaren thing, so I'm gonna do that. I have to go to drivetrain. I do remember that. So we'll see how much power we can squeeze out of this thing, because right now, without any upgrades, it makes 902 horsepower. So without any engine upgrades, without any turbo upgrades, that's how much it makes. So I think we should be able to get this thing to X class. I think with all these power upgrades, I'm pretty sure it's gonna just shoot up to X class as soon as we change the turbos. Well, it's over 1,000 horsepower. I'm at 992, 1,341, or sorry, 1,371 horsepower, makes 1,359 newton meters of torque, which is more than before. 1,400 horsepower. Jeez. Okay, so it's slightly heavier. Obviously, we added a bigger engine, and also we added all-wheel drive. So it will make it a little bit heavier, but it makes a lot more power. 1,437 horsepower, 1,425 newton meters of torque. This should be a lot more interesting now to drive. This should be a lot more interesting. I mean, it should still be able to slide just the way it did before, but I mean, now we have power going to all four wheels, which should sort of allow us to, I guess, pull ourselves out of the corner a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and just fully lock the diff. I'm going to also go ahead and change the center, the torque distribution, I guess, so we can make it around 80% of the power going to the rear wheels. So we'll still have about 20% of the power going to the front. I'm going to fully lock the diff. Just fully lock the diff just so I can get this thing, just so this slides very, very easily. I can just spin all four wheels the entire time. I'm not entirely sure what the transmission is going to be like for this thing, so we'll have a look. We'll leave it the way it is for the moment. And, okay, this is definitely a lot more powerful. This is a lot more powerful. Transmission feels weird. It feels like I'm a little slow in fourth. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna go downhill as well again. This sounds really cool. Because this is definitely the McLaren F1 engine in this thing. Which is, I think, technically a BMW engine, right? This is just completely different to drive. So fast! It's so fast! It's so fast, like, it doesn't oversteer as much. I really have to force this thing to oversteer. The front end just wants to pull. Okay, that was bad. That was bad on my part. The front wheels just want to pull me and make my car go straight again, but I really have to use this e-brake to sort of increase my angle a little bit more. Even if I steer into the corner instead of counter steering, I feel like sometimes it just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to increase the angle, it just still wants to straighten up. Jesus. It's really, really powerful now. I mean, 1,400 horsepower is no joke. Okay, well, it can definitely get sideways. It's definitely not a contender to be up there with the Vipers and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of. But yeah, it's an interesting car to drive. If you have got this, This little McLaren. Try give it a shot yourselves. There's no specific tune that I've added onto it. You guys have seen exactly what I've done to it. I think to perfect this tune, I will have to work on my tone, all that sort of stuff. That's why I don't have like a specific tune at the moment to share with you guys, but you guys have seen all the modification options that I've done to it. Try it out yourselves. Have a look and see what it's like. If you like it, let me know down in the comments. If you don't, again, let me know why. It just, again, it still feels... It feels a little better now. It still feels like a mid-engine rear-wheel drive, obviously. Or, sorry, it still feels like the engine is not at the front, you know, it's somewhere in the back or somewhere in the middle. But the thing is, it feels a little bit better now. It feels a little bit more usable. Whereas before, like, it just felt like a lightweight sports car, which is technically what it is, even though I'm trying to turn it into like a drift car. But it just felt like a lightweight sports car, which is pretty much normal. But yeah, doesn't look too bad either. Well, that was it. The McLaren 600 LT. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it, comment, do whatever you guys want. But for now, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.